So anyway, I'll start over. I've been living at Skeena House for 6 years now. I just got out of a surgery for a brain tumor in January. Um, really bad stuff happens here in this building. For the first, ever since I've been in here, I've been attacked by the women in here. There's an underground women's group in Vancouver. It's probably what they call grassroots or whatever. But I noticed that the pattern that they use, it's called the flying monkey dynamic. There's usually a head witch leading on all the flying monkeys around. They use women with mental health issues, and what they do is they victimize men with mental health issues in these situations, who usually have a past or history of some kind of violence towards women, or fucking accusations of this, accusations of that. But by myself, there's a smear campaign started by God knows who, it doesn't matter. I'm being attacked by the Matrix constantly, but these women's groups here, they specifically target strong men too, because I've been doing really well here. I've educated myself in psychology. I take care of myself physically, mentally, spiritually. I've renewed my faith for years now. I haven't drank or did hard drugs, and I smoke marijuana, that's it. But I haven't drank or did hard drugs in years and years. And I feel really fit and really healthy, especially after having that tumor taken out of my head. I've been doing really well. They've been leaving me alone, but I made the mistake of telling this one lady that works at the Friendship House that I was doing really well and that I was feeling healthy because the environment here is good. And when these women's groups hear that a strong man's doing well, they'll target him. And like I said, there was already a smear campaign. I've been targeted by these women for ages, but my patterns and my personality traits don't, it doesn't work like their accusations and what I've displayed for 15 years of living in Vancouver. I've never been charged with any kind of deviancy or anything. And they try to make me out to be some sort of monster, which I'm not. And I've proven that with my patterns, personality traits, and like just being me. But they're unhappy with that, and they like to disturb you. So anyway, they set up scenarios, this flying monkey dynamic. There's usually a head witch behind all of it, and they get simps, guys that are called simps, guys that'll do anything. A woman bats her eyes or shakes her ass or whatever, or even gives them a little bit of attention. I don't need anything from any women right now, period, because I'm working on me and I don't care about a relationship or anything else except for a relationship with my children. So anyway, I got attacked on Friday. They set it up so that there's a big commotion out in front, and you'll notice that if you look into this flying monkey dynamic with Dr. Romney Durversala, she's a psychologist that specializes in narcissism. Look it up on YouTube. Just flying monkey dynamic. Anyway, there's a head witch that usually, and they'll actually plan scenarios to get a reaction from their victim. It's called reactive abuse. And that's what happened to me on Friday. I've changed all my locks in my room myself. I've put cameras at my door. I've used 3 different locks. I have a door alarm, all because staff has been coming into my room for years with no permission, sabotaging my belongings and like messing with my food. You know what I mean? Like they try to drive you crazy with that. They use gaslighting techniques. This is a really, really bad place, and there's always a woman. There was only one guy that was a manager here, and it worked out really good for a long time because he was listening to me and he was understanding the situation. But ever since, there's been nothing but women managers here, and they're either influenced by these underground grassroots groups or they're part of them. So anyway, they set up scenarios to get a reaction out of men. And with me, they know I have borderline personality disorder. They know I have a few mental health disorders that affect my temper and whatnot, and I've been controlling it. Like I don't, it doesn't even occur to me. I don't even pay attention to anybody anymore because I know they're just trying to get a reaction out of me. But sometimes it's really hard. Even a good person has their limits, eh? And they work here. They're like the women that are involved in these groups. They work in positions of power. They work in anywhere from janitors to management positions in this place, and they all belong to this underground groups. So anyway, they set it up so that there was an issue at the front door, and I got upset on Friday, and I yanked my keys out of the door, and it busted the key ring, and my keys went on the ground. And because I have 3 locks on my door, I have 2 or 3 different keys, and those came off the key ring. And I found 2 of the keys from my locks. Well, one went missing, but I didn't notice by the time until I got up to my door. And by that time, it was already gone, right? The 3rd key was already gone. So I was upset because I knew they had set up that situation downstairs. What it was is the janitor puts really soapy water on the ground, and I've always got my dog with me. And with my bike, it's hard to control him because he's always pulling me around and makes the floor slippery. And I damaged my knee because I'm always doing something active. But I injured my knee recently, and so that doesn't make it any better. But they just try to get a reaction out of you. They do little things all the time to get a reaction out of you. And it's called reactive abuse. If you look it up, it's also part of a narcissistic personality disorder that these women just seem to be infected with. And so I got this letter is what I was getting to. I haven't caused any trouble here. I've been attacked in here 3 times. I've been punched in the back of the head twice. One of the times it detached something from my eye. That's why I found out I had a tumor, because I got sucker punched in the back of the head. Nothing happened to these people because they're the simps that work with the staff. They're being enabled by the staff. There's a group in here, a group within a group that, you know, that it's just a horrible conditions. But where else am I going to go? I have nowhere else to live. My name has been made shit down here. They killed my name. The smear campaign killed my name, so I have nowhere to go. I have no money. I don't have a job. I'm working on my mental health, been taking care of myself. But then I get these women's groups coming after me, and I literally stay to myself. And as soon as they see somebody doing good, as soon as they see a man being a man or doing good, there's usually the LGBTQ community involved, because you're a man. You stand up for manly things. You don't want to wear a dress. You don't want to paint your nails. You don't want to, you want to live a man's life. And there's an issue with that as well, because they say Vancouver's such a progressive city, or whatever. Like I get targeted by these groups because of that, and these women's groups, because I don't know. Just like I said, but anyway, it seems that it's affected the minds of the management here. Like I said, it's a woman again. I don't mention any names or anything, but it's not hard to find out. But they sent me, after one incident, they've had 10 false flags. They tried to have me arrested 10 times. She tried to have me charged with assault because I threw her bucket, the janitor here, because she was, like I said, they're all part of the inner group. So anyway, I'm going to show you this. This is what I got. Conduct, final warning. They stole one of my keys. They worked in group that morning, and they stole one of my keys because my keys came off. They were working together they were going to get a reaction out of me that morning, because there was 4 of them, 5 of them, all came rushing around. As soon as my key ring broke, 4 or 5 of them, one of them came to help me open the door when nobody else was helping me before that. And then the janitor, the one that was the janitor, she knelt down, picked up one of my keys, but she was picking up the other one with the other hand. It's called the distraction theft. And these women do, like, fuck, they all work together. They're all lowlifes. They all live on the street. They've all been on the street at one time or another. I don't know about management, but definitely some of the women in this building, and maybe some of the janitors are hired from I know some of them are ex-junkies and shit like that. So, but anyway, Now I get a final warning from the manager, and I've never been in trouble in this building before. I've never started anything. One time I yell, and one time, you know what I mean, I get a final warning for my tendency because I reacted one time. I never hurt anybody. They wanted me charged with assault. The cops came here, looked at the video tape and fuck, if they seen that, they'd be able to see that she knelt down and she pretended to hand me one of my keys, and then she just dropped it on the ground when I reached for it. And while she was doing that, she had my key. Like I had 3 keys, I told you, for the 3 locks on my door, and one had an orange key identifier on it too. And it's just a messed up situation. I'm getting targeted again, is what I'm saying. Because I was doing too well, because I was being healthy, because I was taking care of myself, because I was minding my own business. It's weird how when you mind your own business and stay peaceful and keep to yourself, how much that bothers people. Anyway, I'm just being targeted again by this group. I have no proof, no evidence of these underground, but they know who they are. There's Facebook groups, there's grassroots groups, and they try to act like they don't exist and stuff. Everybody knows these movements exist. You know what I mean? Now they're victimizing me. I'm just letting you know. I just want people there to be a record of this, because I haven't been doing anything wrong. Ever since I haven't been bothered with women, period, 6 years I've been in this place, I've never been in any trouble. I've never had any kind of issues with anybody. I've never been in trouble with the law, unless it's when these women have started something. And then it's, like I said, there's 10 false flags that the cops have come here. 3 of them have been swatted, or I've had guns pulled on me. They tried to have me killed. So like I'm saying, it's not a joke. Like it's serious, and it's put my health, my spiritual health, psychiatric and mental health, physical health in jeopardy. And somebody needs to be held accountable. But that's the thing, is the great thing about these groups is that doesn't seem to be nobody seems to be held accountable. Period. There was one person, a couple of people in high power that they said I could go talk to them at any time about stuff, but I think it's almost time, because this is just ridiculous. Like I said, I've been taking care of myself. I haven't been bothering anybody. I've been maintaining my health. I want to get back to my life. I want to get back to a life. I want to go back to work. But this is kind of things that these groups want to prevent. They want to prevent you from having a life. They want you to react. They want you to react violently, so that they get you thrown in jail and pursue these negative narratives, so that garbage takes out the garbage, basically, in their minds. Do you know what I mean? Men against men. The triangulation is one of their favorite tools. Gaslighting, manipulation, devaluation, degradation. And then they hope you to react to one of these. They pretend to be sweet, pretend to be your friend. Like I said, they pretend to be nice to you. The manager pretended to be nice to me right after that incident, and then I get this on my door. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, everybody know that I am taking care of myself. I don't bother anybody. She says on here that janitor is going to continue to work here, and that I have to be respectful and nice, when they're the ones that are targeting me. Like I said, no accountability. There's nothing. So I just need a record of this. I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel. Hopefully people see it and recognize that there's damage being done by these women's groups, and that hopefully that either a law group or a men's group or somebody that can help reaches out to me and helps me, because not just me, but the other men in this building, they all just simp out, because they see what happens to men who stand up for themselves, and men who want to recover, and men who want to help themselves spiritually, psychologically, or mentally and physically. You know what I mean? If they see you doing well, they start picking on it. Look, I haven't shaved. As soon as they start this shit, it puts me in a defensive mode, where I just stay inside and don't go out and try to enjoy myself. And they know that. That's why they do that. Like I said, they made the mistake of telling one of the women that are in power, that works at the Friendship House, that I was doing well, that I was feeling really well, and that the environment here was good. And all of a sudden I was being attacked. again, like I said, they don't want to hear that. So anyway, my name is Michael Sean Curtis Brown. I'm Sound Mind, Sound Body, and the date is Tuesday, December 2nd. I'm just going to have breakfast. I'm up doing my usual routine. I just did my 20-minute exercise routine on my climbing machine. I haven't been able to concentrate for a couple of days because of that incident. Even when I haven't done anything wrong, and like I said, the guilt-shame cycle they got me into puts me into my defensive cycle, which means just keeping to myself. I stay in my room and I don't do anything. But I have to shake that because that's what they want. They want you to get sick. They want you to be unwell in any way, shape, or form. And it feeds this weird, gross Jezebel feed in them that they need, that just unhealthy. You know what I mean? These women, it's called a narcissistic feed for each individual woman. They like negative energy. This type of woman, this Jezebel spirit likes a negative feed from men, and they want men to hurt. It's usually hurt women that have multiple kids by usually more than one man. They're usually unfit, unhealthy, unwell, don't have a good diet. You know, they don't look after themselves, and they just want to hurt men. They go with they actually sit in their groups and they form dynamics, and they pre-plan stuff like this to get a reaction out of men. Like I said, so it's really unhealthy pattern, really unhealthy style. I'm being victimized by this. So are other men. I've watched 7 to 9, at least 9 men dying here now because of the patterns that they've used in here, and just straight neglect when it's supposed to be a place of healing. There's one woman that passed away in the 6 years. I mean, like 9 or at least 9 to 12 men have died from neglect, and they use this the BPD attachment style as a weapon against the men in here. Like I said, it's really sickening. It's really unhealthy, and it's causing death, misery, and pain. And that's the pattern that I've noticed. That's the pattern I've recognized. And there's men involved too, like I said, but they're what they call simps. So they usually either have pronouns of some kind, or they're belong to the LGBTQ whatever community that helps them out. So it's just an unhealthy dynamic altogether, and I'm being victimized, and so are the other men in here. So we need some help. That's all I'm saying. If anybody can help us, not hard to get a hold of me. I live at this place, and I just need help. I'm not on social media. I'm not on anything, because those are other ways for them to get a hold of you. And it's just, I call it the Church of the Poison Mind social media. Any kind of social media. Just not used in a healthy manner by these groups. So I stay off of it. I try to get the message out through YouTube. That's about it. That's all I know. Anyway, everybody take care of themselves. Happy holidays. I don't know how many holidays I've spent alone. It doesn't even matter anymore. Take care of yourselves.